Welcome to the Papyrus Magazine World News Roundup. Africa faces worst cholera outbreak in 2005. DRC and M23 signs peace agreement in Doha. New Museums of West African Art faces political storm. Mass kidnapping of school children in Kebbi State. Northern Nigeria violence deepens. Saudi Arabia bus clash, 42 Indian pilgrims killed. AU and EU summit to convene in Angola. South African credit rating upgraded. Technum posts strong earnings. Rand weakens as dollar strengthens in South Africa. Record Rhino horn seizure links to South Africa. On business and technology, Indian origin friends becomes world's youngest self-made billionaire. Tesla buyers waste 7 years, no car, no refund. In United States, Senator Fetterman recovering after hospital fall. Student awarded 2026 Rhodes Scholarship. On entertainment news, Now You See Me 3 dominates global box office. The African CDS reports nearly 300,000 suspected cholera cases and more than 70,000 deaths across the continent, marking the worst cholera emergence in a quarter century. Health experts said fragile water systems, climate-driven flooding, and conflict-affected regions are driving the surge, prompting urgent call for medical supplies and clean water intervention. The government of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the M23 rebel group, have signed a peace framework in Doha, Qatar, aimed at ending years of deadly conflict in the east. The deal includes ceasefire monitoring, demobilization, and prison exchange protocol. However, only part of the agreement is currently being implemented, raising concerns about long-term enforcement. Analysts said peace could stabilize humanitarian access and mining corridor if honored. Nigerian Landmark Museum of West African Art, MOWA, expected to house repatriated Benin bronzes, is facing intense political and government disputes. Critics warn that ownership disagreement and administrative delay could stall what has been promoted as one of Africa's most important cultural institutions. Supporters maintain that the museums remain crucial for heritage recovery and global African art visibility. At least 25 schoolgirls were adopted from a boarding school in Kebbi State, leaving one staff member dead. No group has claimed responsibility, and security agencies have launched search operations. The incident adds to a long-running pattern of student-adopted links to armed criminal network in northern Nigeria. Fatal attack continues to escalate across northern Nigeria, affecting both Christians and Muslim community. Conflict monitors estimated that more than 52,900 civilians have died in politically motivated and sectarian violence since 2009, intensifying calls for state and regional security reform.
We will now go on a short break, and when we come back, the news will continue. Stay tuned.
The Papyrus Global, we don't just cover events, we create cinematic experiences. From red carpets to birthdays, gala dinners, and your fairy tale weddings, we bring your moments to life with high-tech precision. Our gadgets are smarter, our lenses sharper, and our team simply world-class. Trust the Papyrus Global to tell your story in the boldest, brightest way possible.
Welcome back, and now the news will continue.
Meanwhile, in Saudi Arabia, a bus transporting Indian Umrah pilgrims to Mecca crashed and caught fire, killing 42 people and injuring others. Preliminary assessment points to brake failure as a possible cause. Both Indian and Saudi authorities are coordinating DNA identification and supporting survivors. The 7th African Union-European Union Summit will be held 24 to 25 November in Luanda, Angola, with a focus on green development, economic cooperation, digital transformation, migration, and joint security. Universities Research Network are urging leaders to include science and higher education partnership as a core priority. Meanwhile, in South Africa, S&P Global has upgraded South Africa's long-term foreign currency rating from BB to BB. The country's first upgrade is nearly 2 decades. The move followed improvement in fiscal control, debt stabilization, and progress in state-owned utility reforms. Telecom operators Telkom SA recorded a 16.4% rise in interim earnings per share, driven by strong data service and digital business expansion, signaling success restructuring away from legacy telecom operation. Meanwhile, rand weakened as dollar strengthened in South Africa. Rand declined against the US dollar as global risk sentiment fell, with investors cautiously watching upcoming economic data release. Singapore authorities seized a record shipment of smuggled renowned homes traced to trafficking network operations from South Africa. The bust highlights both the scale of wildlife crime and improving international enforcement operation. Meanwhile, on business and technology, a team of Indian origin school friends have become the world's youngest self-made billionaires after their AI startup achieved explosive global adoption in healthcare, fintech, and education systems. The venture is being hailed as a major milestone in youth-led innovation. The Papyrus Global said congratulations.
We will now go on a short break, and when we come back, the news will continue. Stay tuned.
The Papyrus Global, we don't just cover events, we create cinematic experiences. From red carpets to birthdays, gala dinners, and your fairy tale weddings, we bring your moments to life with high-tech precision. Our gadgets are smarter, our lenses sharper, and our team simply world-class. Trust the Papyrus Global to tell your story in the boldest, brightest way possible.
Welcome back, and now the news will continue.
Meanwhile, a viral consumer case has emerged involving a customer who paid $50,000 for a Tesla and has waited 7 years without delivery or reimbursement, prompting renewed debate over electric vehicle pre-order protection policies. A U.S. Senator John Fetterman has returned home and is in a stable condition after a fall that required temporary hospitalization. He is expected to resume official duties soon. The next cohort of Rhodes Scholarship has been announced, with winners recognized for breakthrough in housing reforms, public health equity, and climate sustainability ahead of postgraduate study at Oxford University. On the entertainment scene, the latest installment of a Now You See Me 3-season franchise is achieving major box office success, emerging as one of the strongest non-superhero action opening of the year. Audience continue to respond to the magician his cinematic formula and star-studded ensemble cast. This is the Papyrus World News Round. You can get more of this on thepapyrusdaily.com. To be bye for now.